Maybe it's the scale of the disaster, the sheer terror, or the compelling human stories. Whatever the reason, people across the globe are fascinated by the Titanic. And so this weekend has been quite emotional. 100 years ago, the Titanic hit that iceberg and sank. More than 1,500 passengers and crew were killed, and the ocean liner sank to its watery grave. Ceremonies marking the day have been held across the world, none of them more poignant than at the site of the disaster. That's where we find the CBC's David Common, who's aboard a Titanic Anniversary Cruise. David?
Wendy, it was from this spot, just below this vessel's lifeboats, that our ship paused 100 years on to remember a great and terrible event in maritime history. Doing so not just at exactly the same time, but the same place, something very few have ever done.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain. At this time in the frigid waters of the North Atlantic, exactly 100 years ago, RMS Titanic hit an iceberg.
Within 3 hours at 2:20 in the morning, the ship would be lost, taking with her more than 1,500 lives.
Is the potential poison death.
On board this, the Titanic Anniversary Cruise, a reenactment of the first distress call. Sent from exactly the same spot as the frantic original and received once again at the wireless station in Cape Race, Newfoundland. This is disaster tourism, with some passengers so obsessed with the story they had to be on this spot in the North Atlantic on this day. Though there are descendants of Titanic's dead, no one here personally knew any of them. Still, it was moving to those bound by the tragedy.
In recommitting the souls of these 1,503 people, we do so in a knowledge of a loving God whose temple is within every human being.
One other cruise ship retracing Titanic's path joined up with ours in the memorial. Meanwhile, passengers gathered outside staring down at the waves that at this point a century ago were no longer filled by a great passenger liner, but lifeboats and bodies of the dead.
I envisioned myself being down there and in that water, and it was unimaginable.
Titanic's musicians famously played this hymn, some believe never finishing it before the end came. On the centennial of such a key moment in modern history and a near legend in popular culture, the performance was completed. As wreaths were placed in the frigid waters above Titanic's wreck, still a grave to those taken down with her.